All right, and we're back. It has been a minute since I've been here.
Yeah, we've been holding down the fort without you real quick, but I am happy to have you back, my trusty co-commentator that I've been used to the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, you and I have commentated a lot of games together, and super excited that we get to do another one right here. I'm going to double check that we've got stream. But do you want to talk about the teams while I check in on our competitors?
Yeah, so we can see from Ambrosio here that we have Celesteela, Marowak, Porygon 2, Tapu Fini, Kartana, and Landorus. It's kind of an archetype that popped up very early in Series 7 with the Celesteela, Porygon 2, Marowak, Fini, with the Lightning Rod support from the Marowak, supporting both the Celesteela and the Fini, along with the Porygon 2 being general Trick Room support, and with like consistent recovery, things like Tri-Attack, Ice Beam generally. It's just a very solid defensive archetype. And on the other side, we have Whimsicott, Celesteela, Urshifu, Stack Attacker, Cresselia, and Fini. And it looks like we do have the game feed now at this point.
Yep, we do have it. So I was just telling our battlers they are good to go. Yeah, awesome. No, this is super exciting. This is the first time I think we've seen Celesteela overall in the Monday Night Friendlies, and we're going to see two of them right off the bat.
Yeah, no, and I would guess they're two very different Celesteelas, if I had to guess.
Yeah, we know that for sure Eric has been talking a lot in the Discord over the past week about how good fully offensive Celesteela is when compared to the more supportive substitute Leech Seed set. So I would guess, based on that the Celesteela coming out is going to be incredibly offensive and looking to put a lot of pressure down and get those beast boosts quickly.
Yeah, especially with the Whimsicott support, potentially Fake Tears plus like Meteor Beam Celesteela or even Weakness Policy Celesteela could very well be what we're going to see here. Yeah,
for sure. So these two players are two incredibly skilled and talented players, so I'm really excited to see this battle. Ambrosio was featured on our channel a couple weeks ago. He played Roller Coaster. And then Eric is someone that we've seen also on this channel before, but in the Texas VGC Top Cut streams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, we have Ambrosio, one of the best players in, I believe, Mexico. And Eric is one of, if not the best senior in Texas and pretty much the world, based on being qualifying top 2 for the last IC, which was the, I guess, Players Cup qualification, even though the seniors don't have their own Players Cup as far as I know.
Yeah, for sure. I want to say real quick, thanks for the follow, Turtle Maniac. Really awesome. Seen you hanging out all night, so thanks for the follow. Yeah, both these players are incredibly accomplished. And you are correct in Eric being finished top 2 in that IC qualifier for the senior division. So getting to see some really talented players here.
Yeah, no, for sure. As we see Ambrosio picking the Marnie theme, a very good choice.
Yeah.
I would go personally with Marnie too, but you can't go wrong with either of them.
No, either Marnie is great. Personally, I too am a Marnie 2 stan, but any Marnie is a great Marnie in my eyes. So here we go. We're going to have, right off the bat, we actually see an early indication that this Celesteela is likely not going to be as offensive given its item decision here. But some really cool stuff here. I think a lot of people have been talking about how Alolan Marowak has been slightly underutilized thus far in Series 7, but it is a really strong pick, especially for Trick Room. Great typing and fire and Ghost, and just the ability to go ahead and drop your opponent's defense and then follow up with a Max Flare is pretty devastating combo.
Mm-hmm. The one issue it's going to run into is it's facing off against the Stack Attacker.
Yeah.
Something it cannot very quickly get through, along with an Urshifu, which will deal a lot of damage to it. So you kind of are in the spot where, do I want Trick Room up and lose to the Stack Attacker, or do I want Trick Room not up and lose to the Urshifu potentially?
Yeah, for sure.
Bring in this matchup.
Yeah, it might not be as good in this matchup right here, but I think that there's some definite interest for Alolan Marowak, and I don't just say that since it's our channel mascot with Marowak, but yeah, a lot of good options here for Ambrosio. The Kartana or the Landorus looks like what he's deciding between, but yeah, that Stack Attacka, the kind of dual mode from Eric's team looks pretty dangerous, with Cresselia actually being the Trick Room setter. I feel like we're seeing a lot less Cresselia as a Trick Room setter thus far in Series 7. And I think that a lot of that can kind of be attributed to its inability to heal itself up easily without like the support of a Chesto Berry or a Lumberry.
Yeah.
Ooh, we actually see a shiny Celesteela alongside that Whimsicott here.
Yeah. As we see the Tapu Fini and the non-shiny Celesteela coming from the other side of the field.
Yep.
But very quickly on on Cresselia again, it's kind of going the way that it's gone in a lot of previous formats. As you see, the American side and a little bit of the European side as well tends to kind of shy away from Cresselia, as Japanese usage of Cresselia is always incredibly high in comparison. And even as we saw, like all of the official events so far, like the Victory Road Challenge, a lot of it being the Japanese usage for the Cresselia, as opposed to the Americans using still Dusclops, Porygon 2, and things of that sort.
Yeah, for sure. So here we're going to see right off the bat, I'm assuming that's going to be a Max Celesteela coming out from Eric. So let's see right here. Yep, it is. We're not seeing the Whimsicott Max, of course. I know y'all were talking about that last game. I feel like the only time I've seen Whimsicott Max has been in those Dynamax adventures that we've been doing on Wednesday nights.
Yeah. No, I would love to see, again, more Whimsicotts maxing. It's pretty funny.
Ooh, we see a Fake Tears come out from the Whimsicott here. As Tapu Fini goes for a taunt into the Celesteela. It looks like Ambrosio hasn't been paying attention to Eric talk about the strength of fully offensive Celesteela, as the -2 Spadef Tapu Fini goes down to a max Airstream and gets some decent speed control here.
Yeah, now we're going to see the equivalent of a special Dragon Dance, I would assume, with the Celesteela's Beast Boost. And Life Orb, interestingly enough, on the Celesteela.
Yep, so here we see the Flamethrower come out from Ambrosio's Celesteela, and it's not even going to be enough to take that Whimsicott down to Sash, so no information gained as to what that item might be on Whimsicott, but based on the way that was played, I'm going to assume it was probably Focus Sash.
So now do we just see another Fake Tears Max move into this Porygon, potentially trying to get that KO, or do we see a Fake Tears like Max Flare into the Celesteela?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that the one thing that could kind of muck everything up for Eric's plans is a Trick Room going up here, so I feel like I might prioritize, if I was Eric, I might prioritize removing that Porygon 2 from the field so it can't set up Trick Room. Especially now that both the Celesteela and Whimsicott have gotten a speed boost. Presumably that means that Urshifu and probably Tapu Fini are in the back, as opposed to Stack Attacka and Cresselia. It could be a weird dual mode in one game, but I would presume it's probably going to be more of the fast mode based on what we've seen here so far.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like that Ambrosio's not even going to be going for the Trick Room here, potentially giving up another Beast Boost to this opposing Celesteela.
Yeah, for sure. Because Ambrosio has now seen that it's a Life Orb, he is pretty free to go ahead and click a Max Flare here, so he doesn't have to worry about a potential weakness policy being procced. I know that's something that, given this new meta, a lot of these Pokemon before have never operated in a meta where weakness policy is particularly useful, so you have to be worried about everything carrying weakness policy. As we see here, that Fake Tears just goes into Ambrosio's Celesteela as a Max Flare comes out into Eric's. If this lives, and it does,
it barely lives.
Barely lives, but it's now going to be able to return with a Max Flare in the sun. So let's see what happens here.
I'm not sure how much this is doing.
Oh, almost nothing.
Yeah. It's doing, 50% to a Dynamax Pokemon is a lot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we just saw one do to a defensive Celesteela, like 95%.
Yeah, this is a Celesteela with that +1 Spadef previously, and now it's at -1 from that Misty Seed.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so it's -1 Spadef and +1 special attack with everything going on. I'm honestly surprised it survived.
Yeah, and now without the speed advantage here, you're kind of in a rough spot. This Urshifu will likely just be able to help kind of clean things up for Eric, as well as the Celesteela can easily take a trade Celesteela for Celesteela here.
Yeah. And if this Urshifu is Sash, you could potentially just double into the Porygon. If it's banded, you just close combat the Porygon and attack the Celesteela. I mean, really, either way, there's not much Ambrosio can do if this Porygon is going down.
Yeah, this is one potential if Eric goes ahead and targets this Celesteela here with one of the moves. It might not be enough to KO this Porygon 2 with the close combat. No, actually, close combat alone is just enough. That would tend to make me believe that's probably going to be a choice banded Urshifu in that case.
Yeah, no, it's most definitely choice banded based on that damage. Unless it's like an incredibly high roll on a very not bulky Porygon 2, although we can see the HP stat that it does have 244 HP investment.
Yeah, for sure, and presumably it still has some decent defensive investment, so probably some good information gained here for Ambrosio in Game 1, kind of getting some information that Celesteela is fully offensive, and it might just be enough to go ahead and here, looks like he's deciding between running and not, trying to figure out if maybe not giving up some information might be the best route for a potential Game 2 and Game 3. Or an imminent Game 2 and a potential Game 3.
Yeah, I think based on us knowing what that Kartana's item is, it's probably better to hide that rather than show it off. Considering most Kartanas are AV, I would say, at this point, and this is not, I think it's probably for the best to not show that off. And potentially get a surprise win off of that item in Game 2.
Yeah, for sure. The information preservation is a big part of these best of threes, and a lot of times you see strategic forfeits like that in Game 1 before you have to give up exactly how offensive or defensive you are. We do see Ambrosio here go ahead and switch to Marnie 2, deciding Marnie wasn't quite enough in Game 1, so maybe Marnie 2 will go ahead and give him the juice to move on to the next game.
Yeah, Marnie 2 is incredibly powerful, as we see changing completely.
Tournament, another good choice.
I don't think I've ever used Tournament. I can't even think of what it sounds like.
Tournament's pretty good. I think it's similar to the Gym Leader, which is one of my other favorites.
I do like that.
Yeah, for sure. One of the songs that we use quite often here is the Glitch X City version of Marnie, so... that one holds a special place in the ATX VGC heart. So here we see Ambrosio kind of start to come up with a plan for a potential Game 2. As it looks like Trick Room is likely going to be the way for Ambrosio. I think one of the things that's super scary is, does a Fake Tears Max Airstream KO a Porygon 2?
I'm not entirely sure, but I think if I'm Eric, I'm leading Whimsicott plus Urshifu this time, knowing that Trick Room is going to be the priority coming up, and even potentially the Marowak being in the lead. And at that point, you can just taunt if the Whimsicott has taunt, or just close combat the Porygon getting that KO. And if it's the Marowak, you can Wicked Blow the Marowak, because there's not a good switch in for it. Even Tapu Fini is taking 45% from Choice Band Wicked Blow.
Yeah, for sure. That move's so powerful, and the guaranteed crit really kind of messes up any attempt at setup in front of it. So the other thing that Eric could do in terms of calling a Trick Room lead is just bring his own Trick Room Pokemon, have Stack Attacka in the back, bluff a fast mode, and immediately switch into Stack Attacka and be in a position to where you can sweep through even Ambrosio's Alolan Marowak. So, I don't know.
Yeah, we definitely could see that, and I don't even think we saw the fourth Pokemon on Eric's side last game. It potentially could be that Stack Attacka, just in case Trick Room did go up. Yeah,
for sure. So here we go. We see the leads are Celesteela, Whimsicott. So Eric deciding if it's not broke, don't fix it. Let's do the same leads. Maybe we'll switch sides here, as the Tapu Fini and Marowak are actually the lead here for Ambrosio. Looks like he switched that up in between when we started talking about it and when it finished.
So, do you think Fake Tears Max Airstream KOs Marowak?
I wouldn't be too surprised by that, given kind of the amount of special attack that's coming out of the Celesteela from this last game. If the Marowak doesn't max, for sure. I think it goes down to Fake Tears Max.
I think we just might see a Max Flare into the Celesteela turn 1, and I think that's probably the safest play. But we very well could see something like a Fake Tears into the Marowak and the Celesteela Max guarding. So it'll be very interesting to see what both of these trainers want to do here.
Yeah, for sure. We see Ambrosio kind of contemplating back and forth what he might want to do here, knowing that, you know, this set is on the line with this decision right here. Missing out on your Dynamax or losing your Dynamax early can be really devastating. We do see that the Celesteela goes ahead and switches in for that Tapu Fini, gets the Spadef boost from this Misty Seed, and we see... What's that?
I think I know what's going to happen. I think we're going to see a Fake Tears Max Rockfall.
Oh, that would be a really interesting reveal. We have seen thus far on the Celesteela Airstream, Flare. Have we seen Protect yet?
No, I believe we're going to see... We know it has Steel Spike, as being a Celesteela. And honestly, I think we're going to see a Fake Tears Rockfall.
That would be really interesting. So, here we go. Both Pokemon go ahead and choose to Dynamax here on turn 1, as this Alolan Marowak goes ahead and does its little baton spin, getting super hyped for this battle. So let's see. We see the Fake Tears into the Alolan Marowak, and what's it going to be? It is a Max Rockfall. You call it correctly. So that would make me believe that the Celesteela does not have Protect in this case.
No. And it just gets the one-hit KO with the Max Rockfall.
That's incredibly devastating for Ambrosio. Like, losing your Max right off the bat before you even get an attack off. This Whimsicott's incredibly oppressive with the Fake Tears. That's also going to go ahead and get a Beast Boost for the Celesteela, putting it at +1, and the ability to put anything else against it at -1 or -2, depending on which Pokemon it is. We do see now this Porygon 2 come out, and it's got to put itself in a position to where perhaps Trick Room is up before the Urshifu comes in, so you might be able to pressure it, because you know you're not going to live a close combat from that Urshifu.
Yeah, and at this point, I think you could just double the Porygon, assuming that the Celesteela protects, or if the Whimsicott has Taunt, then you can just taunt the Porygon and Max Flare the Celesteela.
Yeah, for sure,
So it's a pretty tough position to lose your Dynamax turn 1 and not get anything in return for it.
It is that's a really devastating position here. So we see Ambrosio kind of deciding what he might want to do here. I saw him flirting with that run button.
Yeah, I think we might just see... Nope.
Oh.
Maybe. And yeah, it looks like that turn 1 Rockfall might have been too much.
Yeah, knowing that Urshifu is likely in the back, that's going to be really tough to come back from. This is a team that Eric is using in the Pokepod Cup, which we're competing in, and he is so far 4-0 in group play with only 1 game left, and that 1 game is against me. So I feel like I got some good information tonight at the very least. I think he's guaranteed to move on from our group at this point. So yeah, that we see Ambrosio saying Meteor Beam Celesteela, and Adam Santaco's no fan of Celesteela. It is on his top 3 least favorite Pokemon alongside Incineroar.
Oh no.
But yeah, for sure. This was a great showcase tonight. This game right here, Eric showing just, backing up his claims that offensive Celesteela is incredibly good. I was of the belief that the defensive variant was significantly better, but here he showed when supported correctly, the Celesteela on an offensive team is really good.
Yeah, no, that was an incredible showing right there. And I guess that was the end of our final set. 5 sets tonight, all of them incredibly good, and they will be up on our YouTube.
Yeah.
In the future, if you go !YouTube and subscribe there. But if you want to compete in the future, the main one will be !Discord. And everybody go ahead, if you're new, go ahead and join the Discord if you want to battle next week. The signups will go up at 11 a.m. on Thursday. They will stay open till Sunday night. And come out and join us and have fun playing in these games. I think they're super enjoyable, and people are allowed to pretty much bring whatever they want, as we saw from that Double versus Greedent rematch of the century. And people, you get style points here, I will say. You make a name for yourself with style points.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's honestly the most fun thing.